Alright, so welcome everyone. Now in this session we just start doing our rendering process from the point we left in the previous lesson, okay? And here I can see that almost all the way I have got the sand, but there is something more needs to be done when I'm going to switch the input bias with some more negative value to bring the contrast much more. So that we're going to add much more believability inside our scene, okay? But that's also seems to be okay to me. Now you can memorize the fact that why I basically call two different colors in the input color sections. Just a reason because I can have some little bit more variations. Okay, otherwise the whole thing needs to be completely flat. If I gonna use only the one color, okay, so that's I don't want. That's for the reason I introduced two different colors. Okay, so that's thing clear to you. Next, one of the most important thing is that I'm gonna utilize the input bias with a negative value. Let's say minus 0.35. That's gonna solve my purpose. Save the previous render and go for the fresh render. Now we're gonna see how much big difference we're gonna get, because now this sand will gonna have some more deeper and some better values. All right, that's completely fine. But I think so I can also started realizing that there are certain cracks, or you can say the areas where the sand is not completely dispersed or not uniformly dispersed, that we can also going to handle with the help of the threshold. So what I'm going to do is that next I'm going to increase certain more values of the threshold in order to bring them down. Or maybe I can switch to improve my opacity graph, not to give such a tighter value. I can raise the graph from the left hand side. Okay, so let me just put that to the pause and come back to my texture settings node. Well, I think so minus 0.35 is going to be a little bit high, so put that thing to the 0. And next, threshold is 0.2. So what I'm going to do is that just to put that thing to 0.25 or maybe to 0.3, I should say. That's going to be fine. And I think the rest of the values are completely okay as such. And let's just do one thing, have a quick render of all such things once again. Before we do any further render, I would like to keep that softness. Okay, that's fine. And just quickly, I'm gonna have again another render. So grab that section, drag it up, and render the scene. So I think so that's completely okay. And I think so that now we have raised the opacity graph from that left hand side. That's for the reason it's not showing that, depths and all. But I think so that's going to be fine, not a problem. If you still want some more better contrast, you are most advised to bring it down furthermore. That's completely okay, not a problem. Render that stuff once again. Yeah, that's completely fine, completely acceptable. So guys, now you can see that how powerful are the opacity graphs in Maya Fluids. I completely understand the fact, and I always acknowledge that fact also. If you're gonna pay a close attention towards the opacity graph, you're gonna have much better look and feel with your fluids. All right. So at this moment, I feel that is completely okay. But now things depends up to your artistic decisions, how far you would like to accentuate the process. So what I'm gonna say is that this time I'm gonna put that thing to the stop. I'm completely okay with that. Those who wanna keep this as their concept, they can go, not a problem. Those who want a little bit more further turbulence, or you can say more disturbances in the pattern of the sands, like it also creates some interesting patterns when the turbulent wind moves, you are most welcome. So what I'm going to do next is that you just need to select the fluids and you just apply a turbulence field. Now let me just select that one and bring back once again from the isolate mode. Okay, now the question comes that in the initial we were saying that we're not going to use any dynamic aspect, but just relax guys. This setting is just to tweak the texture aspect of the fluid, all right, because I cannot do that thing with the help of, you can say, the implode if I'm gonna select that up and work upon setting like this texture scale, texture rotation, that's not really going to be cool for me, okay? And let's just leave these attributes as the default. Now what I'm going to do next is that let me just put the turbulence field to approximately magnitude of 100 and attenuation, set that thing to the 0, and quickly going to come to the frequency, let's say 0.3 would going to serve my purpose. And if I gonna hit the play, you can see, of course, nothing is happening. That's for sure, I know. Reason why? Because we need to select the fluids, and guys, just pay attention close towards it. We have to adjust the coordinate method from fixed to the grid. Okay. Now you're gonna enjoy the impact of the field on Maya fluids. So let me just put that thing to the stop. And again, I'm gonna render, just save that thing for the previous comparison and just give a fresh render. I'm sure it's gonna have a lot of changes in the behavior aspects of the fluids, since now we have introduced the turbulence fields onto the sand. If you still want that to be much more particular, or you want some more interesting patterns, you can further increase the magnitude of the turbulence, and of course you can also increase the coordinate speed of the sand also to make it look much better. But I think so I'm gonna lock myself over here. I'm completely satisfied, and this thing will, I think so, is completely fine. Okay, so now what else I'm gonna do is that just put that thing to the stop, and let's just do one more thing. Just play it for furthermore, let's say 45. That's it. And now I'm gonna render the complete image. Okay, so that's gonna be fine, I think so. All right, that's good. Here you can see such a interesting curves or curling in the sand, so that's completely fine. So I believe so, guys, I made my point completely clear. So now we also discovered one of the most powerful feature of the Maya fluids, that they do support the texture behavior also, and the fluids, they also have some capabilities that they can be controlled easily with the help of the texturing also. All right, so that's going to be really very important and very interesting. So I believe so you must have got my point. Now we're going to move to the next lesson. All right, let me just put that thing to the stop. Okay,